All right, guys, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Hunt Righty. Today is set day for me. Few days behind, but you know how it goes, chasing whitetail all weekend. So today's Monday, 13th, November 13th. So season opens the 10th. Trapping season opens for us on the 10th. But stepped out here to a property that I just beaver trapped on last year, and this year I'm going to set for canines and beaver and mink and everything out here. So just kind of cruising along here on the four-wheeler, checking things out. Just pretty much just pulled in here, not too far. But first place I'm going to set, you know, everybody says set on sign. Sometimes signs just little things. Sometimes it's pretty obvious. You know, it's not always tracks and scat. I'm gonna do it's gonna be a step down dirt hole, even though I don't do a lot of step down dirt holes. But you can see right here, coyote's been digging. They dug that hole in the ground. So I'm gonna do a step down dirt hole on that. They've already got the dirt hole pretty much dug for me, so I'll just kind of probably gonna change it. You can see this is kind of how you want your dirt holes to look. You know, the dirt hole is actually smaller than that when I make them, but see how it's all tore up, and you can see it's not camouflaged and blended in. You want to make it obvious, just like they did right there. So I'll kind of probably just going to show you what the set looks like when I'm done. I've got 2 traps in at the house, but this will be kind of my first set for the season, so you don't want to watch that. It could be painful. But I'll show you what it looks like after, and I'll throw a double in here. So I'll probably put just a normal dirt hole somewhere within 10 feet of that trap. Just find something that looks kind of interesting here. So you can kind of see the landscape. We're up high. If you look around, we're sitting up high here. It's kind of a high spot. Gets even a little bit higher right here, but you know, looking down, this goes down into this little valley here. So I'm gonna set this high spot, see what else we see as we cruise along. Yeah, so show you what this set looks like. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, so we're gonna use Iron Trail Armageddon. Had awesome results with that last year. And I got some fox urine from Montana Wolf Trapper. So we're going to use that on this set. And then, as always, like I said, some sheep wool. The dirtier, the stinkier, the better, in my opinion. So this is how I bait every single one of my sets, with sheep wool, bait, urine, and a lot of times a lure. But we're going to just use Armageddon on some sheep wool. And I'll show you the dirt hole I got. It's way back in there. Stick that down in there. I just scrape my knife on the sides to clean it all off. And then take a shot of this on the thing. When you shake it up, you got to be careful when you open these tops, or they'll spray on you. So open that up, give it a couple shots right here, and that set is ready to go, guys. I'll get you in closer here. You ain't gonna be able to see the dirt hole in there, but way down in there is the dirt hole, and my trap is right here. So they got to stick their foot there to get in there and check that dirt hole. But gonna keep going here and throw in some more sets. Like I said, I'm gonna throw a regular dirt hole in somewhere within about 10 feet right here. So, all right, guys. So you can see the step down dirt hole right there. I'm gonna punch a dirt hole in. See this little bush right here? There is a little bit of a game trail running through right here. The coyotes, I'm sure, are hunting this brushy stuff here. I thought this was a little four-wheeler track, but it actually cuts down and just turns into one single trail right here. So they're coming up right here. So I'm gonna punch one in here on the mowed side, kind of right in front of this bush. So probably somewhere right in here. Put the dirt hole kind of right back where the grass starts. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so something I'm going to start doing this year is at double sets. I'm going to be using the exact same bait, lure, urine combo, whatever I did at the first double. So Armageddon, Montana Wolf Trapper Fox urine, and some sheep wool. Just something I kind of picked up at the trapping convention this year from a couple different guys. You know, sometimes there can be too many smells in an area. I know a lot of guys go in and use a ton of different, a different bait and two or three different lures. And I've done that, and you'll catch coyotes, no doubt about it. But a lot of guys said they like to use one bait, and if they use lure at the set, so we don't have a whole bunch of different smells going on. So I'm gonna try that this year. So just always try different things. Made sense to me having too many smells at one set, so I've always kind of not used a bunch of different lures and stuff at one set. I'm one bait, one lure, and one urine typically. I don't put in a whole bunch of different lures at the one set, but at a double, like I said, this year I'm going to be using the same bait, lure, urine combo, whatever I used at both holes, that's what I'm going to use. I might even mess around at some farms and use this one bait, but I do have a bait I'm testing for iron trail, so I'll be using that one mixed in quite a bit. But so here's the dirt hole, guys. It's a pretty basic dirt hole, that's all I do is dirt holes, other than that step down you guys just seen. But that's my dirt hole, not blended, scratched out like a coyote would have dug that. All your dirt, I like to take all the grass off and push that back. Trap pan's right there. So we'll see what we got in the morning, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be doing some more, like I said, muskrat, beaver traps, minks down here. So once we get down here to the creek, like where the beaver were last year, I'll start putting in some beaver traps, if there's even any beaver sign out here this year. But last year I hammered them in this little bitty creek out here. So we'll see what we got. Moving on. This is the first stop of the day. Okay, guys, here's another excellent spot to put a double. Sorry, my finger's in front of the camera there. Creek line runs past us. Up into there is where we set that first double. And then we've got a waterway right here. So we've got basically a T intersection. I already looked and picked up some, but there's tracks and scat right here in this dirt spot in the bean field. When I see a bean field, I love setting bean fields for coyotes. I don't know why. Beans and coyotes just seem to go together for some reason. Come over here on this side of the beans. And honestly, I don't even care if I see sign. I know this is where coyotes are going to be. It's been kind of dry here for the last couple weeks, probably since they've got these beans out. So I'm not expecting to see a whole lot of tracks. We're supposed to get some rain midweek this week or something, but so I'm just setting with peat moss right now, till it gets later season, and then later season you guys watch. I got some waxed dirt, and then I'm also using the coal shale from No BS. So I'm going to compare that coal shale to waxed dirt this winter. Kendall says he likes that coal shale better, so we'll see. We'll use her, see how it beds and everything. So looking forward to doing that little test. But I'm gonna punch a double in here, probably one on this corner of the bean, one on that corner. So put in double. I'm gonna use Iron Trail's test bait this set here. So I'll probably punch in a few more sets before I show you making a dirt hole, but you guys have seen a million dirt holes. So stay tuned. Tomorrow will be the big day, check day, you know, that's what everybody loves, but just kind of showing you what I'm looking for sign or for where I would set. That's a lot of questions guys have, you know. Everybody's easy answer is always set on sign. Well, it ain't always that simple. You just gotta think like a coyote, you know, they're hunting that creek. You know, most times it's probably gonna be one on the other side of the creek, one on this side of the creek, or they're running up these waterways, one on each side. You know, they push the game to each other. That's how they hunt. If they're hunting in pairs or doubles or triples or whatever. But so yeah, sometimes you just gotta think like a coyote. It ain't always about setting on sign. Sometimes you just woodsmanship, you know. Just think like a coyote, I guess. So like I said, punching in 2 doubles here. I'll show you what they look like in the end. All right, guys. So here's the dirt hole in the corner of the beans. You can see, well, you haven't seen while I'm making the sets, but I wear gloves. A lot of guys ask about scent control. I absolutely do not wear gloves for scent control. Scent control for coyotes, just like deer, is just, you're never gonna cover it up. So I wear gloves just to keep the dirt off my hands, and then the bait and lure, you don't want that on your hands. You don't want that on your trap for sure. This set, I'm gonna use this new test bait from Iron Trail. Don't know what he's gonna call it. I broke out some old Wiser stuff here. This is bad company. I don't think you can get any Wiser lures anymore. This stuff's a little bit on the old side, but I'm gonna use a lure on this one, and then I'm gonna use some Rusat's private stock coyote ear in here. So different than the other dirt holes up the way there. But like I said, everything goes on sheep wool. The bait always goes on sheep wool. If I can get it open with these gloves. Okay. And you don't need a whole bunch, just take a glob like so. Okay. Get your bait opened up. And it's kind of a fresh bait looking stuff. So take a glob of that. Maybe. Kind of hard to scoop this out with a knife. So get that over here, put that on your wool, shove that down in the hole real deep. That's a real deep hole there. And if dirt falls on it, it's not a big deal. Okay. And then like I said, I'm gonna use some of this bag company here. And this is a rattlesnake based bait. So a little bit different. Like I said, I've used it in the past before. Just stir it up, put a little bit on a stick here. Just gonna throw that right on top. Okay. There's that one. And then take a shot of urine and put on there. Also, when you first open them up, open them away from your face. Okay. It's like that. Probably more urine than what I needed, but in the moment. All right, guys, so that one there, and then I'm gonna do the same bait and urine on that. Okay, guys, so here's another spot. This seems like a pretty obvious spot for most guys, but so we got the main creek back there running that way. Here's a little branch that comes off here from this waterway up here. Okay, and then we've got a bridge, a pipe, culvert, bridge, whatever you want to call it. You know, everything that's trying to cross this way is going to come across this bridge. Plus it's good, you know, they're going to hunt that waterway. We've got a fence line right here. That creek runs off there, so it's kind of like an H, you know, a saddle or whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to set a couple coyote traps here. I might set 3. And then I'm probably going to jump down. I threw a couple muskrat sets in back there, didn't video it. I'm probably going to throw in a couple 1.5s down here, footholds, see if we get some mink down here. Here we are on this bridge. I'm going to use this stupid little weed here as my backing. So we'll just pull some of this grass out of the way. We're going to put our trap, figure out where we're going to want it. It kind of depends on the dirt. Okay. We got a spot cleaned up pretty good. So then when you get your dirt clear, you can kind of see, you know, where your trap's going to go. So I got kind of a low spot right here is where my trap's going to go. And then we'll just offset the dirt hole down here at the base of that weed somewhere. Even come back a little bit if I have to. But so I just kind of like to start getting that trap bed dug out. Like so. We'll get that going. Got a lot of like weed roots here. We'll make sure we get them out of there. Okay. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. I know it's not the greatest, but you can kind of see how I'm doing it. Get some of this weeds and stuff off the back here. I don't like them to just come and start walking right on my dirt hole. I want there to be a little bit of fresh dirt back there. Kind of get them used to it. Dig a spot for your chain. Start it anyway. Okay, now I'm gonna get my trap set. See how that's gonna sit in there. That's gonna be about perfect. So I'll fit the jaws, and then I'll pound in for the levers, or start taking dirt out of the way for the levers.
I like to pound that out once I get most of the dirt taken out of the way. That out of there. And then with these no BS, that base comes real close to the lever, so you gotta kind of make a spot for this base here so that they bed better. So that's pretty much perfect right there. All right, so that guy is there. I'm gonna dig out a little bit more of a spot for the chain to lay. Okay. We'll take our super stake, drive that right down in the middle. It's like so. And these are the super stake drivers from Tom Stalker. I've been using this for several years now. I've never had a driver last that long. That thing's still ripping. So yeah, that's gonna sit in there perfect. All right, so then I'll take a little bit of peat. Usually use a coffee can for this, but put some peat down. Set your trap down on that. Better night latch that. Now she's ready. Get your trap down in there. Okay. Then, if you're using whatever you're using for your paint cover, I like the screen wire here from No BS. It's pretty strong, and as long as you can find it, you get several uses out of it. They'll chew on it a little bit and it'll be mangled, but works really good. It's pretty heavy duty screen, and it'll last quite a while. Get your paint cover on there. Then I'll put some more peat on here. It's supposed to be 70 degrees, so I mean, it ain't anywhere close to freezing, but I always bed in peat. Even if it is freezing, if it ain't gonna be wet, I like to try to save my wax dirt for when I really, really need it. That stuff's not cheap or easy to make, so I try to kind of reserve that. Save that for when it's really needed. So peat moss works great for right now. Actually, peat moss will work good for you all year, really. That's what I used for several years when I first started trapping. Just use peat moss. It's easy to go buy at the store, no fuss. So that trap's set. Now we'll put the dirt hole in. So you know, it's not super critical. I do offset to the left just a hair. So my pan's here, dirt hole's going here. Then when you get down here and start hitting that clay, that's when it gets tough. All right. So then you can get these clumps off your trap. And a lot of times I'll take this dirt from my dirt hole, just go right over everything. Pound that down. And remember your trap pan's right here. Just like that. And you always want to make your trap pan the spot where they want to step. So you can just do whatever, you know. Just take some dirt, put around it. Just like that. Sprinkle the rest back here. And that one's ready to rock. Just like that. Okay. So I'll probably going to go make that other set before we get into baiting this. You know, sheep wool, I'm not sure what bait I'm going to use yet down here. I won't bore you guys with the other two. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. So we'll punch in. I'm going to put a triple here. I'm going to punch 2 more in. And this whole creek, not any sign of beaver. So they must have moved on from last year, but I got another creek that I know there's beaver in on another farm. So won't have to set for beaver out here this year. So the farm will be happy. But set this one, we'll be on to the next one.